Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Siobhan. So today I'm sharing a flip through of the current planner that I have been using for 2025. I also used this last year in 2024 and 2023 and 2022 with some breaks in between using my Louis Vuitton agenda, which is a ring agenda. So this is a Louis Vuitton Paul notebook cover in Mahina. I did remove the lock completely because it is very obstructing obstructing the planner from laying flat. So when you're writing on this side, there's a big bulk and I just didn't like it. If you have this planner and you do remove it, you are exposing the 4 holes. So I usually have a small little patch from Sony Clover Lane, and for some reason I took it off the other day, but it's a tan color and it blends in really well. So this is the cover. The notebook that I'm using is a Stalogy notebook, and it's an in-between size. It's in between an A5 size and a B6 size. So this is the common A5 and the B6 is a little smaller. So I took an A5 size to Staples and they were able to cut it down for me to my perfect size. So this is the notebook. And everything here I created. I covered the color of the Stalogy because I believe this one may have been the yellow or the blue. And I also like to remove this part of it because I feel like removing the tape that binds it together makes it lay flat a little bit more. You don't have to do that, and that's just me. So everything here, I designed it. I have not changed the look of this since I set it up in January. But I think for November, as I'm setting up my planner for November, I am going to change this up just a little bit. Like the washi tape is is getting folded. So I may switch the washi tape and maybe put a cute little fall winter card here. So this is my inside. Keep in mind, it's a blank notebook when you buy it. Everything in here is custom made by myself. So here I have this card with my family photo from last Christmas and a prayer that I keep with me all the time. And then I have these little things about gratitude that I tend to write in every planner. But I am going to switch it up a little bit for next year. I'm going to rewrite these, but differently, because there's a lot of things that have changed perspective wise. Here I have the 2025 calendar, and I have some birthdays here because I'm really bad at remembering my friends' birthdays. And this is a list of holidays that I added, and here I keep it as like a part to just put sticky notes and like for quick notes and stuff like that. So this part is my worth knowing, where I keep like important dates coming up pertaining to my home infusion that I get, important school date for my kids that I have to remember, and then here is a list of some goals that I try to implement throughout my life, not just yearly, but kind of like every day. These aren't big goals. These are very realistic things that I can achieve, like monthly movie or game night with my family cook together, personal, read more variety of books, monthly self-care dinner, health, take my meds on time. If you've been here a while, you know that I had a heart transplant and there are days that I struggle to take my meds. So this is something that I really have to focus on daily because my meds keep me alive. Limit carbs because it's not good for your body. It makes me really bloated, and it also can contribute to diabetes, which taking these transplant meds increase my risk of developing diabetes. Business, I wanted to work with 15 brands for the year. So far, I may be a little close. I'm not sure. We're recording this November 2nd. And I try to pick and choose the brands that I work with in a certain campaign, even though I want the money, because the money that I make from my online social media, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, all of that money goes towards my children's education. So this is how they go through college and all the things that, you know, I want to do for my kids. So 15 I feel like is a good enough, one per month, maybe 1, 2 for 1 month, and that way I don't overwhelm myself, and I have the ability to choose. So in addition to sharing my planner, I also wanted to chat a little bit about how the planner community can sometimes not be best for us because it tends to alter how we think about productivity. So I noticed that I've been using the same planner for the past maybe 3 or 4 years. This section of the planner is where I jot down something really good that happened during these specific months. We're up to November. And the other day I was on social media, Instagram, and also on YouTube, trying to find 2026 planner inspiration. And a lot of the videos I came across were people with like at least 3 or more planners, some 5 and 6, and it really confuses me because now I'm thinking I should switch to get one of those type of planners. All the planner content on my feed every day, it makes me feel like I should also buy those. But then I realize I have the ability to not let everything that I see affect how I think and affect the things that I purchase. I can admire without having to copy, So if something is working for you, there is no need to change it. So this is why like a notebook works well for me. And the only reason why I may change this is because I need something that's dated. So for the dating aspect, because a notebook is blank and there aren't any dates, you kind of have to do everything as the page comes. This is what's called a future log. It's also in bullet journal. So before the month starts, not before the month. So this is already made for the whole year. And what I do is if I have an upcoming event, appointments, date, dinner, work or school thing, I write it in the months because there is no month section of the planner to plan future. So like right now, I am planning for November. If something pops up for December, I have to write it here because there's no place to put it under for December. So that's the only reason where I feel like I will be able to switch up the planner is because something in my current planner is not working. And when you're thinking about switching to a new planner, if you've been using it for a year, it's keeping you on track, you're meeting your goals, your deadlines, it's cute, you love it, there's no need to change it. But if there's something that is not working, you can switch up the current planner to fit what you need the most or change it to a new planner. But there's no real reason to constantly change and switch and buy things. That's just something we always have to keep in mind. So these are notes that I have pertaining to I already started planning for January. I tried to do a running to-do list, but it didn't really work. So this is my write it down section. This is where it starts my actual planning. So writing down everything that I have to do is crucial for me day to day because maybe it's the medications. I take some medications for fibromyalgia, some of them for my transplant, and I feel like it affects my memory. And I'm also 40, so it may be a combination of everything. But if I don't write something down, I don't remember it. So I have to be very strict with writing things down, writing out things that I have to do so that I can remember to do them. So this is January. So I tried to do like a month overview for January, and I didn't do this for every month, but the pages that I want to share with you. So this is January. I created this weekly layout. I had a section for notes, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the thing with having a planner like this, a notebook, you have to build your weekly layouts. You have to build it ahead of time. Like I do it for the month so that at least the month is set up. I can just plan for the month. And then the following week I changed it. So you do have the ability to change the layout, which is what I love. There's no you're not confined to one particular layout in a traditional planner. So you can see it's all different. Here I did a week on one page, This is 1 week and this is another week. And I like this view. I love this setup. I did this for the entire month to kind of see what it's like. And this would also help me to pick a future planner if I were to ever change. Okay, I know that a weekly layout on 1 page works for me. I know that a weekly layout on 2 page works for me as well. So this is something that I'm thinking about as far as my next planner. So, and this is all in one planner, same planner that I've been using. This is another weekly spread. This is another weekly spread. I still decorate my planner spreads. These are very old stickers. If you are an OG in the planner community, where I forgot her name now, Jameson Reed Designs. I actually broke this out the other day. I'm like, why am I saving it? So I've been really using all the planners that I have in my stash because I want to stop purchasing new stickers, because like I said before, we're just buying and buying, but we don't necessarily need everything. Like I can go through my stash and plan for a year and never have to buy anything. So I'm getting out of the habit of following a trend because something new comes out, I don't need it. I can use what I have. I also used the planning section when I was planning for Jamaica for my trip. This is the beauty of having a notebook. There aren't no rules. So after this week ended, the next 2 pages, I dedicated it to a planning list for my upcoming vacation. So this is another thing that I really loved about it. I can be very productive in it because I want to be productive. The planner is not going to make me productive. You have to want to be productive and do the things to make you productive. So this is why I like just not planner hopping, because it's not really the planner. Sometimes it's yourself. And I was thinking about getting a new planner just to do this. And I'm like, why? Because when I tried to look up packing list on YouTube, it didn't really motivate me to kind of like utilize what I already had. It just helped. It made me want to buy more. So I said, I'm going to just use what I have and be productive with the things that I already have. And then the back of this planner is dedicated to my journaling. But for my trip to Jamaica, I did want to do the memory planning in this section as well. So this is why it looks like this in the middle of the weekly plans. And then I jumped right back into planning. So this is why I say you can basically do whatever you want with a notebook. And then a couple weeks ago, I wanted to try the Hobonichi layout. So this is the 2026 Hobonichi that I purchased a few months ago. And if you're not familiar with the Hobonichi, it has a weekly layout, a daily, and a monthly. So this is how the weekly layout looks. And I wanted to test that out to see if I like it before I'm able to commit to it fully. So I purchased this PDF file from Etsy and I tipped it in just for 2 weeks. I think I'm going to also add this in for my November spread. And it just gave me that opportunity to basically do it. So here we are up to November. And what I'm doing today on my computer is creating a November dashboard. And I'm going to do like a November brain dump. And then behind this, I'm going to tip in basically the weekly inserts that I showed you that I tipped in here. I am kind of set on the Hobonichi for 2026 because it is dated, which is something that I feel like I need more than just the section I showed you with the future log. I want to be able to have full pages of future dates that I can work with. So this is why I want to switch to this, because I can plan as far ahead as I can. But one thing about the Hobonichi, and I may do a video specifically on this, is that this is a very overwhelming planner for me. You may feel a little overwhelmed to use this because of the amount of things that it have. And I find that me looking through this and anticipating using this, the feeling of being overwhelmed, is also the same feeling I feel sometimes with my planner, because I'm going to go through the sections that I have that sometimes makes me feel overwhelmed. So the monthly, the weekly, and the daily, it feels a little bit overwhelming. I love the weekly layout because I like to see my week at a glance, but I really like the daily, and I was thinking maybe I should just utilize the daily only and take this part out of the planner. I'm like, I just kind of do whatever I want to do when it comes to planning. I don't have any rules. So I would basically just cut all of this off and my planner will start here. And I will make a new cover for it and make sure everything is secure. And then I will have this a daily planner. So this is what I am leaning towards. But then I don't have any pages to track other things that I need. So maybe I have to incorporate that somewhere. So that's one plan for 2026. Using this Hobonichi, only the daily part, which I may do, or utilizing the Stylogy again, but this time in this cover. And I'm going to show you why I would switch covers. So this section of the planner is where I jot down my lists, my trackers, and things like that. So the front of the planner was dedicated to my weekly, daily, monthly planning. The second part of the planner is dedicated to all the things that I want to track. This is my happy list. I list everything that I like to do for like hobbies, or whenever I'm bored, I can just pick an item here and just do that, and I feel great. This is a list of places that I want to go. I have gone to a lot of these places and there's more to add to it, but I'm not sure why I was not really consistent in updating this. But this I want to continue in 2026 in a different aspect. In whatever planner I move to, I would like to. This was my wish list. I have a wish list note on my phone already, so I didn't really continue here, because I like that I can link the item in my phone versus just writing it down here. This is a period tracker that I did not keep up with, but I did make a new one that I'm going to use for 2026. This section is all about reading, and I was keeping track of the books that I've read, some notes, and then these are the books that I have not read. I have to put the rest of them over here because I've actually read a few more. This, I did like it, but I was not consistent with it. So I have to kind of identify why I'm not consistent with some of these things that I thought I would be, and I took the time to make it for the planner, and I feel like it's a little bit of an overwhelming feeling. So I still want to incorporate this next year, but how would I incorporate this so that I'm a little bit more prompt to complete it? The Donate Life section is all about my doctor's appointment. This is where I write notes for the doctor whenever I go. And these are more trackers. These are just food ideas: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. I like this. I refer to this a lot. Sometimes when I don't know what to eat, I just kind of scan through and look at what seems good. These are recipes. I don't know why I even have this here because I hardly cook. My husband does all the cooking. So I'm eliminating this next year. This is my section where I have a week, not a weekly, but just a cleaning checklist. So this is the setup for each room and where to clean in each room. Then it goes into my garden section. Also, I want to share with you, like, after some of the sections, I do leave blank pages in case I want to add something else that I didn't think about initially when I was creating this with this setup. So this was my garden planning that I use, and it still has dirt in here. I've been trying to get it out all summer long. So this is the garden section. I don't think I'll put this back in my 2026 because I pretty much am self-sufficient in my garden. I know where to plant what and all those things. This is my This Well Planned Life section of my planner, and this is where I keep all my business things. So the last section of the planner is my journal. So this is all journal and memory planning. I realized that I don't need to keep the journal and my planning in the same, because right now I have, I think, around 30 pages left for the month. So if I wanted to, for the year, So if I wanted to journal, I don't have enough to do a journal page every day. And another thing is journaling in the same planner, it bulks it up a lot. And I'm the type of person who wants to take my planner with me everywhere. So it's a lot of bulk. And this is not even the full potential of the bulk that it can get to, because I started limited the amount of things that I put in the planner so it won't bulk up too much. But I do a lot of journaling and memory planning. And this is just things for me to be able to look back on and, just remember. Gardening, my echo, and these things that happened to me. And I love this. I have this like 4 years worth of this, 4 or 5 years. So I have to think about now, how will I journal for 2027, 2026? Do I want to keep this, or do I want to do something different? And this is what my thought process is going to be about doing something different. And seasonal. Whenever I go somewhere, if there's a patch that the store has, I'm gonna buy it to put in my planner. So this is the end of the planner, and this is where we are. So I have a little bit of page left for the year, but I'm going to make it work because I'm not starting a new planner. If I start a planner at the beginning of the year, if I don't like something about it, I still tough it out because I really like it. One thing I know for sure is I love a notebook. And even though this planner has worked for me yearly, I realized the other day that I don't want to carry the memory planning section around with me when I have my planner. But I would like to be able to jot down journal thoughts or things out of my head in the planner that I'm using. So I don't need everything that I see online, and you don't either. So simply just taking a post-it note and jotting down what you need and how you can incorporate it in the things that you already have. Because when we keep buying and buying, too many options makes us confused. And I remember the other day I was laying in bed contemplating about what planner to use. And I'm like, it's not that serious. Why am I thinking so much about changing the planner that I have that has been working for me? Because I keep seeing all these new planners and everything online, and I feel like I need to have that. So I have to kind of change the way how I think to just admire what I see online and don't necessarily have to copy it or buy what they are promoting, because it really kept me up at night. So I'm usually a one planner girl, one journal, one planner, and I'm going to kind of switch this up. So using what I have at home, I'm not purchasing anything else, and I've already kind of decided on the Hobonichi as my 2026 planner, but I don't feel like I want to commit to the weekly, monthly, and daily. So I either have to predate an entire year in this planner, in this Stylogy notebook, or take the Hobonichi cousin and just keep the daily parts. So that's the option, the decisions that I have to make. And I have to think about that because I want to kind of start setting it up before December. Give me something to do. So what are your thoughts? Should I continue with what has been working for the past 4 years? No, I'm not going to ask you that because it's not working for me right now. I want to keep the memory planning separate. This will be my memory planning because it's smaller. This would be my day-to-day planning. And I have the ability to journal here. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to think about that. So before you pick your 2026 planner, see what you already have. I already had this notebook, and this is the only thing that I bought for 2026 because I was dead set on using it, but I'm backing out a little because it feels like a lot to commit to. The daily pages I feel like should be enough, but I also like to see my week at a glance. So that's the problem that I have to solve for myself. with everything that I have here. And I already have a notebook that I previously cut for this that I'm going to use for my memory planning, so I'm not buying anything there. So this is what I am thinking to use. This is a A5 Stylogy, and it lays flat. This one came directly from, I think it's Jet Pens from China. Jet Pens are a pen boutique. And I love that it lays flat, but I find that this version versus the one on Amazon is a little different. I don't know if it's a bootleg version on Amazon, but it doesn't lay as flat as this. So thank you so much for watching my planner chat, and I hope you enjoy and get some inspiration for your planner if you're setting it up for 2026. Also, this cover is from Hermes. I had it for a couple of years, and I've been using it for my work notebook cover, which I don't need anymore because I don't do work notes separately. But I will take this Stylogy to Staples to cut off maybe like a 1/4 inch so it closes better. Alrighty, thanks for watching and have a good day.